Next to you so we can hear it good. Eli Lara, tell me a little bit about your past and where you're taking the Valley.
Well, I am a pastor's son. I came down to the Valley in 1985 really quick. My mom died in a car accident, so the Lord brought us to the Valley. I hated the Valley. And from here, I graduated Mack County High School, just like a normal teenager. I left here. I went to work in Virginia. From Virginia, I went to Florida. From Florida, the Lord started working on me, and He brought me back to the Valley. And I'm in love with the Valley now.
And what year did you come back?
I came back in 1995. In 1995, I had the honor of meeting your father. I was in a radio station, Travisa Juvenil. Did a lot of events back then.
Yeah.
Attract thousands of kids. And I thought I was at the height of my life. Even your brother, Kevin, he offered me a TV show. I was at the top of my life in ministry, traveling. And then I fell off that mountain really quick in 2001.
Okay.
2002, I fell off the mountain, ran away from the Lord for about 5 years. Went through a crisis in my family. It was really difficult for me. I never thought God would ever bring me back to ministry or to serve. I thought I would just get old and sit in the backseat of a church and ask God for forgiveness. But then I started dreaming. And in my dreams, I encountered the living God. And I saw myself preaching and speaking again. I would wake up at night crying, saying, why would you want to use me? I've messed up. I've turned my back on you. Every night I would dream. And I had one dream that really stood out. I was driving a lifted brand new F-250 and had brand new wheels. I was driving off 495, passing the Albas, passing 27 where STC is. Before I got to STC where 29th Street, I felt like coming back to the Albas. I remember I was high in my life. I hit my brakes. I turned my big truck around, and there's a car behind me. So I had a diesel turbo in my dream, and that car sped up so fast from 0 to 60 to 70 so quickly before I got to 27th. And I remember the car in my dream moved out of the way, and there was a stalled 18-wheeler gas tank. I couldn't stop my vehicle in my dream, and I went right through it. I mean, I hit it so hard at the impact, around 50 to 60 miles per hour, maybe in my dream. And the tanker exploded. And I saw myself, I couldn't get out of my truck, and I saw the tanker explode and the fire start consuming it and started coming to the hood of my truck, and I knew I had no way to get out. And in my dream, I saw myself burned to death. It literally felt so real. It felt so real that I was burning to death. I remember that I died in my dream and I started floating up to the heavens. And I remember that when I was floating up to the heavens, I heard a voice say, bring him to me. And as I came to this voice, it says, bring him to me. He started looking at me, and he started hitting me. He said, can you bring this stick? And he started hitting me on the head with it. And when he hit me with the head with it, he said, this guy is no good no more. He's no good for us. He doesn't dream anymore. So when he did that, I woke up and I just started crying, because the person in heaven said I was no good no more because I didn't dream. If you know the Word of God, it says, my people perish without a vision. And I told myself that I would dream again. So I started dreaming. I would go and sit in a church, hang out in the back, and before you know it, God started sending people to invite me to church, and God started giving me word through different great people around. And then one day I got a word that moved me, and in a nursery. And a man of God started shouting at me in front of everyone. I said, Lord, I'll do whatever you tell me to do. And I looked at that man. I said, whatever God tells me to do, I'll do it. And I got offered a radio show in BMP. Okay. And I had someone pay for it for 3 years of business and pray for it. And that's how my ministry started back. Started traveling around the nation in the valley. Went back to Rayo Vida, another 7 years. 16 years in the radio, doing concerts, Casting Crowns, Mercy Me, Carrie Job, you name it. And then from there, I just started meeting a lot of broken people. And I met couples. And there were too many couples, so I said, why don't we just get together? So we started a Thursday night Bible study. And first time we met, we had 10 people, 15.
And that was when?
That was in the fall, November of 2011.
Okay.
And then in December of 2011, it just started growing. And then we couldn't fit anymore. We had like 60 people in the house in North Silverado, in Mission, on
Okay.
Cherryland. So we started looking for a place. So we found this little building, a prayer room, and it went down a lot. So I told the Lord, okay, I'm done. We did it for about a good year and a half. That's a good run for a Bible study. So I thought I was going to give up. I said, God, if no one new comes in, it's over. So I'm about, we did some worship. I did the word. When I'm almost done in the word, someone walks in. So I knew that I couldn't finish because I made a promise to God, if no new person comes in, I'm going to quit. So I kept it on. We had a visitor there named Reuben, but he's come before, so he wasn't new. And he says, Eli, yeah. So he came up to me and he says, Eli, he said, when I saw you speaking, the Lord told me, don't give up. You're going to have thousands and thousands of people. So I just kept on going. From there, we went house to house. Every house that we visited was packed. So eventually we knew that we couldn't fit in the houses no more. So I went to a Methodist church on 23rd in Trenton, and I asked them if they could lease me the place. The pastor calls me back and says, it's a God thing, I'll let you use it. So they let us use the kitchen area in the back, and we started packing out. We started running around 50 to 70, 80. And then the church says, if you get to 100, we'll give you the big sanctuary, which holds 400. So eventually, in 2 months, we packed up over 100. We started using the big building. And from there, we went from that building to CFC. From CFC, we went to another building. And during all that time, Carlos, God was sending people that I was going to be a pastor. And I didn't want to be a pastor. I was running from that calling. So eventually, sure enough, one day, a great friend of mine called me and told me, Eli, God told me that he's going to use you. He goes, he's called you to be an apostle. He goes, the reason why you start as the pastor is because you're going to train the community how to be leaders. And I said, okay, I'll try that. So in 2016, Eli Family Church became a 501c3 ministry.
Okay.
And we started building off of that, still having Thursday service, not a Sunday morning. So we started looking, and I still doubted that ability, and I needed one more confirmation. And I remember I was talking to my brother Leo, and he says, make sure it's not the devil. I said, well, the devil doesn't need no help. I don't want to do this. So sure enough, 2 days later, I was coming out of the radio show in Westlaco, and I exit off here on Cherry Road because someone wanted me to stop by and see if I could find him a video of the prayer room.
All right.
So I stopped, and when I walked in, there was a man of God